Hello and welcome again to Adam's Kitchen on Trust TV. I am Adam Mani Angora, and in today's episode we are going to prepare something that everybody knows, something really common, which is tuwo. A lot of people call it swallow within our context, right? And for this one we are going to use semo, so we call it tuwon semo. And also we are going to prepare one of the most popular soups in northern Nigeria called KUKA. That's KUKA soup, which is made from baobab leaf, the dried one. So I guess before we dive into the program, let us go for a quick break, and then we'll be back in a short while. Welcome back. As I said earlier on, we are making tuwon semo or semo swallow with KUKA soup, that is baobab leaf soup. So as usual, in this program we try to bring different dishes, of course, from maybe different cultures within the country, and also we try to go outside of the country also and bring something new. So far, since the start of this program, we have been stuck in a way to some part of northern Nigeria, right? We tried outside one another, just a bit that we uniquely created. So in the future, we hope to bring much more surprisings. So in order to prepare this simple dish, we need something like daddawa, which I don't know how to call it in English, but some people call it locust beans, right? And also we are going to use the baobab leaf, the powdered one, right? That is dried powdered one. We are going to use some seasonings, salt, dried ginger, and blended puree, which compose of tomatoes, some red pepper, some onions, some ginger, the fresh ginger, and also we need some oil, some semo, actually the semo powder, and also we are going to make put some beef inside of the soup. Now before I go on to explain further, let me quickly start the process. And in this process, what we will start with is the preparation of the soup. KUKA soup is something that is really easy, very quick to prepare. But because we are using some meat, that's what will take a bit of our time. That is to get the meat cooked. But in this, what we are going to do first is I'm adding my oil. However, when preparing the KUKA soup, KUKA is something that's supposed to be sticky. When you are eating it, it should be drawing. It is a general belief that when making KUKA soup, you use red oil to get a better result, because the KUKA soup is something that should be sticky, something that you eat, you see it drawing, right? So using this, using like vegetable oil or any other white oil like groundnut oil or olive oil or something like that, doesn't give you that much result that you need. But if you use red oil, generally they believe that you get that result. So for this one, what we are going to do now is, because the oil is really hot, I'll take it off fire first and then begin to put my meat. So I will fry the meat for a while. I'll go ahead and add some salt. while I'm getting my meat fried, let me fetch some water, which is to be used for making the tuwo, and also I'll use part of it to add to my soup. So I can now go ahead and sprinkle some of the ginger. So at this point, I'll now go ahead and add some water in it. And then cover and let it cook for some time, and then we'll check whether the meat is soft enough. As I said before, preparing this soup is something absolutely easy. All it takes is to boil the water. Provided the water is boiled, I can say it's like you have almost finished making the soup. So the only thing holding us now is our meat, because we don't want the soup to be ready while our meat is uncooked. Likewise, the semo itself is something that is absolutely easy, super easy to make. All it takes is for our water to boil. I know usually water doesn't take more than 5 minutes to boil, right? So with that, I will slowly start my fire and then allow the water to slowly begin to get hot while our meat is getting cooked, so that we can finish everything virtually at the same time. As I've given now the water low heat, so the next thing I'm going to do is to add some of my blended puree inside of the meat. You don't need to put much of this, because it is also part of something that prevents the KUKA soup from becoming that sticky, So with this, we are waiting for our meat now to cook, while waiting for our water to come to a boiling point. So while we do this, let us go for a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. In case you are just joining us, you are watching Adam's Kitchen on Trust TV. We are making Semo and Baobab leaf soup, KUKA. So let's check our meat whether it's good enough. Okay, now our meat is just doing really fine and is getting there. So what we need to do is, since I have now boiled this water, I'm going to go and add it to the meat there, and then I'll put the remaining of the water on fire. And what I am going to do now is to make what they call talge by pouring some of the semo here in this plastic, and then I will now go ahead and add some water to it and mix it well. So you see, different people, different style. Some people that I've known, I watch them making semo. What they do is to boil the water first, and they'll just add it inside of the semo powder, and then they will cover it and give it some time, and then they'll bring whatever they want with a spoon, mortar or anything, and then begin to mix it. That's perfect for them. But with that process, usually I find it that when you eat this more, it doesn't feel 100% cooked. So another style is this one that I'm doing, making talge, and then put it in the hot water, allow it to cook for some time before thickening it with the powdered semo. Some people, they'll just take the entire semo powder and just add it to the boiling water and then mix it. So our style here is a little bit different, even though many people in northern Nigeria, they use this style, whether they are making semo, tuwon semo, or they are making guinea corn tuwo, that is guinea corn swallow, or corn swallow, or wheat swallow. Yeah. So with this, we're going to begin to make the talge. I am adding this mixture inside of our boiling water. Don't forget to be stirring it immediately when you start or when you begin to pour the mixed semo, so that you avoid making some lumps, especially when the pot is too small and too narrow like this one. So I'm now taking it off the fire to avoid making some unnecessary lumps. Right? With this, you can see that it's almost perfect, almost 100% done. If our pot was that big, the content of the water would have been much more than this, and then would have given it more time to continue to cook, before we get it as thick as what you are seeing now. So since we have gotten this sort of result, what I'll now do is I'll put my fire off for a while so that I can focus here and finish this soup. So with this now, see, since as I said, the main objective here is to get the meat cooked, and we are getting there. So I think it's perfect time for us to add our daddawa. Also, to add some seasoning. Okay, and then stir it a bit. So with this, we are almost 100% there. I'll just cover it, give it 2 to 3 more minutes before I pour my KUKA. And let me have my stirrer very close to me. Very essential tool when preparing KUKA soup. You stir it to help prevent it from forming some lumps. So while on this, let me now finish the tuwo. One thing I'll do here is to add some water of the semo that I have just rinsed away from the plastic. Give it a very, very low heat and allow it to continue to cook for a very short period of time. Everybody has their own style of making tuwo. There is a regular style that is generally acceptable by each and every culture, but then that doesn't prevent you from adding your own creativity. They say culture is dynamic. Culture is not meant to be static. It changes with the change of time, with the change of context, and so on. So feel free to add your own creativity, do things a little bit different, unconventionally. That way you may even get much better results. That doesn't mean the culture is being distorted, but then it means an innovation and creativity is being added to the culture. It means the culture actually does change with the change of time and the change of context. Which means, I should say, whatever we do, to add in new things to things that are very well known in a certain culture is just to add value to it. Let us try not to do something that will distort the culture. Let's just give it much more value that it deserves. So with this, I will now go ahead and open my pot here and then begin to add my KUKA. But in any situation, when you are making this kind of soup and then you notice the water has evaporated, you lose the quantity that you really need, at any time you can just add some water, give it 1 or 2 more minutes to boil again, and then you can go ahead and add. So this one, our water has evaporated that much. If we like, we can add some water to it and then allow it to boil again. But with this, I think we are okay. We can just go ahead and add our baobab leaf and then stir it very, very well. So because of the quantity of the soup, I can't stir it this way, because some of these I would call them heads or ears of the stirrer is not actually much deep into the soup. So I can just give it a stir like this, like just the way I'm doing right now. It doesn't make much difference because the main objective is just to avoid it from making some lumps. Okay. And also don't forget, because you are dealing with something that you have added some seasoning and salt and so on, it is always good, you know, before serving, to be checking the taste to be sure whether you need to add some of the seasoning or salt, or it is perfectly okay. So with this, I guess I'll just go ahead and give it a test to be sure that my seasoning is okay, so that I determine whether I need to add some more or not. Okay. So with this, I guess I need to add a little bit of salt. That's the point of actually testing, which I believe by now should be all right. So this is how easy the KUKA soup is. And you can see my tuwo is also becoming absolutely okay. At this point, I can just go ahead and turn off the fire. Okay. And then for the tuwo, some want their tuwo to be really thick and strong. Some they want it really soft and a bit watery. In that situation, you can leave it like this. But in the situation where you want it thicker and harder, you can just go ahead and add some of the flour, the Semo flour, and then give it a stir to thicken it. So at this very point, virtually all our things are done. It's only to give it a few seconds or minutes to actually finish. So I guess let's declare for a quick break, and then we'll be right back to complete and serve. Welcome back, and in case you are just joining us, which I'm very sure you'll be able to catch up, you are still watching Adam's Kitchen on Trust TV, and our dish has been served and it's ready for testing, right? So this is our tuwo and this is our soup. You know, many people prefer to eat with their hand instead of spoon. This is more than something, so let us be modern here and then test it with the spoon. You can see the soup is thick, very thick. I'm already in love with this food because it tastes absolutely delicious. Simple but mighty, which has brought us to the end of this episode. And we hope you were able to learn something, and we hope you will continue to watch our episodes and continue to practice and continue to learn. With this, I say we are hoping to see you in our next episode. This is Adam's Kitchen on Trust TV, and we hope to see you in our next episode. And bye for now.